Hi, my name is Kate and welcome to Habits of a Modern Hippie. Little Miko has decided to join us today because she is a camera hog. And if you're asking where Tinkerbell is, she's lying down on the bed over there. But today we're going to answer one of the most asked questions on both the girls and my Instagram, and that is, what do I use to clean my house? Now, all of you dog owners out there know that keeping a house clean with pups, especially two of them that shed as much as these girls do, is quite the feat. And not only do you have to pay attention to how much you clean, but you also have to make sure that your cleaning solutions aren't going to poison your pups. So, I have 5 different solutions we're going to go over today that are all natural, super easy to do. You can do them at home and they only require a few ingredients. So we're going to go over an all-purpose cleaner plus lemon, a glass cleaner, one for your drains, and a carpet cleaner as well. So 5 different solutions, all out of these same ingredients. They'll be super easy. Now, I always say this, but I buy my ingredients in bulk bags or from the bulk section of supermarkets and things like that. So you absolutely do not need to have this much for all of these cleaning solutions. A lot of them only require a cup or so at a time. But what you'll need is some baking soda. You can get these giant bags at Costco for really inexpensive, or you can go to your bulk section of your supermarket or Zero Market, anything like that. This goes in quite a few of those recipes. Distilled white vinegar. Only need about a cup or a half a cup at a time of this as well. Lemons. Salt, great natural abrasive. Hydrogen peroxide. This one is going to go into the drain cleaner. Really great to have, and it's kind of like a fun science experiment. A little bit of dish soap. This one is totally optional, but I like to put just a drop of dish soap in my window cleaner. I somehow did not bring it, but there's also optional of lavender essential oil. And then a spray bottle. This one is glass to cut down on plastic, but you can always reuse a plastic spray bottle that you've had in the past, and a microfiber cloth. Now I'm going to go through some of these recipes, and I know for a lot of you that don't like to listen and have to write down these recipes, I do have them all linked below in my blog post. If you see them written around with exact measurements and kind of where and how to use them, go ahead and click that link below. Now the first recipe is the simplest. It's just 2 ingredients, water and white vinegar. And all of these recipes, you want to make sure that you're using plain white vinegar because things like apple cider vinegar, etc. have different pH levels and you don't want to ruin your stuff. So a super simple solution, you take about half a cup of white vinegar, mix it into a gallon of regular water, pop that into a spray bottle, and it is good to go. You can spray down bathrooms, countertops, toys, especially the little squeaky toys for these girls. All of that can be cleaned with vinegar. You do want to avoid any natural stones, so if you have stone tiles, marble countertops, things like that, because vinegar is slightly acidic, it can actually etch into those stones, and you don't want that to happen. If you do hate the smell of vinegar, the next all-purpose recipe doesn't have any vinegar in it. It is water, lemon, and baking soda. So for the lemon all-purpose cleaner, you take about 1.5 cups of water, a tablespoon of lemon, and a tablespoon of baking soda. You can optionally add a couple of drops of lavender essential oil in here as well, if that feels good to you. But you put that in a bottle, shake it up, and you are good to go. However, the difference between this first one and the second one, while the vinegar-based cleaning solution is a great one, and as is the lemon, the vinegar you can actually store. However, this lemon mixture, if you don't use all of it in one go, you have to check it out and you remake it every time you're about to clean. Next up is our glass cleaner. You want to mix about 4 cups of water, half a cup of vinegar, and about a teaspoon of this dish soap. The dish soap I'm using is this 7th generation one. You can get it at Target, you can get it online. It comes in a recyclable bottle, and it is USDA certified bio-based product. This is 90% all bio products, so it's free of fragrances and dyes, Super simple, super clean. This is what I use on my dishes as well. So you mix that up in a squirt bottle. Use one of these microfiber cloths if you don't want to waste paper towels, and go ahead and wipe that down. Now there is an option of adding a little bit of rubbing alcohol into that to have it dry quicker. However, I absolutely abhor the smell of alcohol, and so I don't add that in. Next is for carpet stains, and if you have a dog, especially if you're potty training a puppy, this one is very important. All you need is a half a cup of vinegar with a heaping teaspoon of salt. You mix that together in a bowl and then pour it over the stain. That is going to start to break up all of that stain or whatever's on the ground, and then you use a cloth to blot that up. Now, while that's still wet, you follow it with baking soda. So I take a big cup of baking soda, pour it all over the stain, and not only is that going to help take up all whatever's left of this stain up, but it's also going to remove the smell. So all of that smell comes into the baking powder, and then you can vacuum it up later. And this is a fun one to watch because if you actually have a stain on your carpet, you can see the baking powder taking up any of that color that's left over, especially dog pee. The baking powder turns a little bit browny yellow, which is great to know it's coming out, but really gross when you think about it. And then last but not least is probably my favorite because it reminds me of those volcanoes you used to make when you were in grade school. You need a big cup of baking soda, and depending on whether or not you're working with a small drain or a large one, a funnel as well. For clogged drains, you're going to pour that baking soda down the dry drain. Get as much of it in there as you can. Then you follow that with about half a cup of the hydrogen peroxide. This makes a really fun little science experiment. It starts to bubble. It's going to start breaking up whatever that blockages is. And then you follow that up by pouring boiling water down the drain, and that should get everything out. Now, because all of these are really simple ingredients, they're going to be safe for kids, they're going to be safe for pups. If you have a weirdo dogs like mine that like to stick their noses on the windows and in everything and lick everything, you know that they're not going to be licking up any man-made, gross, poisonous chemicals. And because we're using bulk products, it's actually a lot less waste than if you're going to go to the store, buy the plastic bottle, buy the paper towels, all of that. You can reuse all of your stuff, especially with glass jars and things like that. It's a really easy way to cut down on some of your trash. So I would love to know, what do you use as your household cleaners? Do you do it yourself? Do you buy natural products at the store? Let me know in the comments below. And if you did like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I make new videos every Wednesday and Sundays. And on Sundays, those little fluffs that I have escaped over here are the stars of the show. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye. So with just a little bit of work, an overnight soak, and maybe about 5 minutes of actual prep, you have a full quart of almond milk. Super delicious, really fresh, tastes great, and everything